Hello, welcome back. I'm Scott.
And I'm Allison.
And we are
Jarhead and Ginger's Journey.
Today, we're going to talk about the problem we're having with our Berkey filters. They're just not working correctly.
Nope.
Come on. We've been having some problems with our Berkey. We know that when it stops filtering as well as it normally does, that means that the filters are dirty. They need cleaned. You clean them with a green scratchy. The first time it started draining really slow, we started researching it and found that out. So I've done it about 4 or 5 different times. Each time I've washed the filters and re-primed them. Now we're getting to the point where only about the top inch to inch and a half actually filters out of the top portion of the Berkey into the bottom. So we have to keep it filled all the way to get any water out of it at all. We have called them, and they're sending us a warranty card that we have to fill out, and I believe they're going to send us new filters. But let me show you how actually slow or poorly it is filtering right now. I hope you can see how slowly it's actually draining out there. So each drip of that water is actually filtered water. It should be draining a lot faster than that. What I'm going to do is take this Berkey back apart, take the filters out, scrub them down again, re-prime them, and then we'll fill it back up again and see just how better the filtration got on these old filters. If you're not familiar with the Berkey, the filters just sit in on these stems and they screw in place right here. So to get these off, all you have to do is unscrew both the bottom sides of the filters themselves. We do have a 5 micron filter outside as well as a water softener. So just if we were running it straight out of the tap, that would be one thing. But we've only had this thing since May. So all it says to do is scrub these filters down with the scratchy or the green monster, whatever you want to call them. So here we go again. The next thing after you get done cleaning them with the green monster or the green scratchy is to prime them. To prime them, they give you this little rubber grommet to put on top. That's supposed to hold the seal. I put the little wing nut on before, opposite direction, so it actually holds a base to where you could get it and push it down on there a little better. And this time I'm going to use our kitchen faucet here to prime it. And all I'm going to do is bring the hose down, put it on top of that little rubbery disc, and turn the water on. Now once I turn the water on, besides it going everywhere, it's supposed to go through the filter. The water is supposed to go through the filter and push out any water that's in it. not water. It's supposed to push out all the air by priming it. Normally I get quite a bit of air out of them. This time I'm not getting much air out of this one at all. So I really think it's clogged, guys. The filter is clogged. Anyway, that's one primed. Now I've primed this here in the kitchen sink before. I've primed it in the bathroom sink before. It gets a little better seal in the bathroom. Now I also took it outside and primed it at the pole where the water comes into the RV, just so I could blast it real hard. I got soaked doing it that way, but at least I knew there was good pressure going through this thing. I didn't get any air out of this one either, I don't think, guys, with the priming that we have going on here. But I don't know what the problem is. I'll go ahead and put them back in, fill it back up, and we can see if the washing did any good. Now we've got it all back together. I refilled it. Let's show you how it's dripping now. You can see it's dripping quite a bit faster, but when the filters were new and I first primed them, it was almost running through. So what we're going to do now, you can see the top's all the way full here. We're going to let it run for an hour, and then we'll come back and see how much is actually filtered through here. This should be able to filter 2 3/4 gallons in an hour, which is way more than this top thing can hold. So in an hour, this should be empty. I'm highly doubting it's going to, but we'll test it and see. Stay tuned. Well, it's been an hour, so let's go ahead and lift the lid off and see how much we have drained out. Remember, this is supposed to be able to filter 2 3/4 gallons in an hour. It's been an hour, and I'm not sure, I hope you can see how far down it is, but it's only filtered about that much of the whole top of the tank. Let's lift it up and see how it's doing as far as dripping goes. Super slow again. Still dripping, but not very fast at all. So I'm really thinking that our filters are bad. Like I said, we've only had this since May, and it's August now. So we've only had it for 3 months. We did call the company today. They sent us a warranty form. We filled it out. Hopefully they'll send us a new set of filters that will actually work, and this won't happen again. But we will keep you informed on what happens throughout this process, and we'll let you know if the new filters work, and we'll even update you later on down the road if the same thing happens again. If you're having troubles like this, or have had troubles like this with your Berkey and know what's wrong with it, or if you saw me cleaning the filters and I was doing something wrong, let me know in the comments down below. We definitely need clean drinking water, guys. So what we did was, while we are in the process of working with Berkey on replacing our filters, we went ahead and bought a new set of filters from Amazon. They're not very cheap. They were about $63 or $65, I believe. But what I'm going to do here is show you what comes in the box when you do order new filters. You get instructions on how to set them up and prime them. This pack came with 2 of the little discs to put on so you can prime them, and then you get the filters themselves. They come very well packaged, so you're not gonna get them damaged unless they did something serious with them in the truck on the way here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these set up, get them primed, and get these new ones back into the Berkey here, and then hopefully we'll be able to come back and show you guys how well they're supposed to be draining. And why this other set isn't, I'm not sure. So stick around. So we got the new filters primed, we've got them inside, and I can already tell you that they're working a lot better than the old filters, guys. Let me just pull this up off the top and you can see how big of a difference the filters are making. See, they're just draining right out of this one. The other filters were barely dripping at all. So I definitely think that we had some bad filters. I don't know what happened. They worked fine for a while, and then I guess they just clogged up way before their time. It says 6,000 gallons of water you can filter. There's no way we filtered that that much water in the few months that we had them. So we'll keep you up to date on what they say with the warranty information also. But so far, I think we got it worked out with the new filters.
I sent an email to the Berkey company asking what to do because the filters were not working. At first, the email went to junk mail, and I searched my junk mail, their reply email. I searched the junk mail for the subject Berkey, couldn't find anything, so I did the form again, still nothing. So then I emailed, and they said, oh, well, we sent it that day, and it must have gone to your junk mail. But anyhow, what they said was they had a whole list of questions, like 6 questions, you know, did you do this, how did you clean it, this and that. And I answered the questions, and the last question was, do you have a water softener? Well, yes, we do. And in fact, the paperwork, if you read it, says not recommended for use with water softeners. However, we have friends that use it with water softeners with no trouble at all. So not sure what happened there, but they're not going to do anything, cover it under warranty, not going to send us any filters. So take that, you know, we didn't read the directions, but this is just to let you guys know it is not recommended to use for water softeners. So if you do have a water softener and you're having trouble, that's what's going on.
Possibly could be what's going on for sure. Now, it also doesn't say in the instructions that using a water filter voids the warranty, but for whatever reason, Berkey decided that they weren't going to send us the new filters because we're on the water softener. So just a warning, if you do have the Berkey out there and you do have the water softener, we know another couple that actually goes out and gets water out of the spout before the softener and brings it back in, and that's the way they do their filters. But like she said, we know 2 different people that run almost the same exact water softener and everything that we do, and they don't have any troubles at all. So apparently we're just the bad luck guys when it comes to the Berkey filters. Now, we do have aftermarket filters in, and we've been using the water out of the tap just like we were before with the regular Berkey filters, and so far we haven't had an issue. But so now we have to decide whether or not we're going to keep using the softened water, or if we're going to run out and, you know, get a pitcher and bring it in of water a few times every day. So that's what we'll have to decide, and basically that's what we'll do. But if you're running a Berkey, just be aware of that. If you didn't read it in your instructions, they are not recommended to put the softened water into.
Going outside repeatedly to get water to put into the Berkey seems like a hassle, but it could be worth it to make sure that you have healthy water and that you're not using plastic water bottles. But I think for now, I think we'll experiment again with the tap water and see, but now we'll know if it messes up again that it was our fault for using the water softened water.
That's right. And these filters are, like I said, they're the off-brand. They're not the Berkey brand, and you can tell because they have plastic fitting on the top instead of just the rounded filter itself. They were still about $65 or $68 for the pair. If you get the Berkey ones, they're over $100 for the pair of filters. So they're not cheap, and the first set were the expensive, the Berkey ones. They only lasted us for 3 or 4 months, like we said in the video. So just be aware that if you do have that softener, it's probably going to clog your filters.
And knowing what we know now, would we buy a Berkey again?
I wouldn't.
No.
Well, if you're still here, thanks for sticking around to the end. We'll see you next time on Jarhead and Ginger's Journey.
Bye.